specimen, but we have a Cinemax final number 2 to get underway here. So the penultimate race of the day is Cinemax action, 13 minutes plus an additional lap. Your pole sitter will be Dylan LaHaye, alongside will be Rhys Hunter. Lewis Gilbert and Iljan Brunsils will be alongside each other on the front row. Now this is as a result of a 5-second penalty handed out, I believe, to Clayton Ravenscroft for a front fairing infraction. So Clayton will start from 7th position, alongside him will be Leroy Jägersar. They will be behind the third row pairing of Ben Donkin and Manel Golofretona. Kai Hunter will start from 9th position, Patrick Rundqvist from 10th, ahead of Storm Breuer, Teddy Clinton, Andreas Hebert, Kian Sang and Jason Lockwood rounding out the top 15. McNulton finished in 14th but drops to 16th through a post-race penalty. Clementine Benoit, Rick Boothorn, Georges Bersis and Lorenzo Stolk round out the top 20. Guilherme de Oliveira, who stormed through to 4th from 12th position, unfortunately starts from the back of the grid due to a tyre being on the wrong way. So the Portuguese driver has got to do it all again, but still showed he has got pace around here at Mariembourg. From 21st onwards, apart from Guilherme de Oliveira, who starts from 31st and last, it will be Alexander Luck, Hughes Van de Candelera, Christian Kuya, Elias Kalin, Victor Plateau, Marcus Radny, Kieran Gifford, Bram Ossevarde, Sam Harrison and Charlie Turner will complete the 30 strong, with Guilherme de Oliveira starting from 31st and stone dead last. The sunshine again beating down on us, 13 minutes on the clock plus an additional lap to go. So they're starting to get into formation here at Karting de Fagne in Mariembourg. So we had an exciting Junior Max second final. Will we have the same in Senior Max? Well, that much I can pretty tell you now is guaranteed with full assurance, as we wait for everyone to get into the 2x2 rolling start formation. So the red lights are ignited on the starting gantry once again here under the Saturday afternoon sunshine. So LaHaye on the left-hand side of your screens is on pole position, alongside will be, now Rhys Hunter not showing up there, but here we go. Do we go lights out? Yes, we do. And it looks like Lewis Gilbert is the one that is behind Dylan LaHaye at this particular moment. But Rhys Hunter did not actually start the race, unfortunately. I'm not too sure why. That's a real disaster. That was a great showing in the first final. So he will be on the back foot in terms of points accumulation throughout the weekend. Drivers making their way through the second infield section here at Mariembourg, through into turn 8. Now into the left-hander at turn 9, before the double right at turns 10 and 11. So just over 12 minutes plus an additional lap. It looks like it is Dylan LaHaye continuing to lead, which it is the case. Lewis Gilbert from Persistence Motorsport, as Clayton Ravenscroft has come out of nowhere, and I mean quite literally nowhere, to get past Iljan Brunsils, and there's more overtaking. Leroy Jägersar, I think, is getting really, really feisty, and there could be Patrick Rundqvist involved. I'm not too sure. Just waiting for them to come around, as Ravenscroft and Brunsils definitely hammer and tongs at the minute. Ben Donkin, Leroy Jägersar, Kai Hunter, Storm Breuer, Patrick Rundqvist is in the mix there too. Guilherme de Oliveira now up into 25th from 30th position. So as a result of Rhys Hunter not starting, oh, and we have one off at turns 5 and 6. That was out of my line of sight. Not too sure who that is, but it's trying to assist in... well, hang on. Yellow flag's being waved at turn 5. Now, there is more than one cart, I believe. So Bram Osevada could be one of them. Hughes van de Candelera could also be another one as well. They're trying to rearrange the barriers. Yellow flags are being waved. No overtaking, and that is through turns 4 and 5 to try and slow the field down before they get the green flag waving in the general direction at turn 6. So 2 carts off. That looks to be Van de Candelera and Bram Osevada that are out. So we go down from 31 to 28 competitors still circulating. LaHaye still leads. Gilbert, Ravenscroft, Brunseels, Donkin, Jägersar, Galofre Torner, Kai Hunter, Stormbrewer and Patrick Grunquist round out the... well, hang on a second. I've just seen a few changes as well. There's been a few positional changes, I think. So they're still trying to clean up the mess on the outside of turn number 5 at the moment. So yellow flags will continue to wave at marshal posts 5 and 6. And the field is starting to stretch out ever so slightly here. So it looks like we've got, at the moment, first and second together. Third is trying to catch up, so that will be Dylan LaHaye leading. Lewis Gilbert from Persistence Motorsport in second. Then it's KR Sports, Clayton Ravenscroft. And Moving Powers, Ilian Brunseels. And in 5th place, that looks to be Ben Donkin. Or is that Galofre Torner? Galofre Torner has got past both Kai Hunter and Ben Donkin last time around. So the Spaniard now making moves up the order. So the battle is getting very, very feisty at the front of the field with Dylan LaHaye. I think is trying to now know that he's got both Gilbert and Ravenscroft very, very close behind. Driver still not able to overtake at this particular moment through into turn number 5. But Gilbert is within a cart length of Dylan LaHaye at the moment. It now stretches to about 2 or 3 cart lengths going towards the penultimate couple of corners here. So LaHaye leads. Gilbert and Ravenscroft. Ravenscroft is catching the dual ride diamond heading into turn number 1. Brunseels being dropped now. And the gap between Ravenscroft, who is quite literally swarming over the back bumper of Gilbert at the minute. It is still about a cart length or so between the pair, heading into the left-hander at turn 4. And there is a sea of carts from 18th onwards, and leading that train is the recovering Charlie Turner, who said to me earlier on it was a spark plug failure that caused the problem on his second start in the first final, and which promptly put him out at the outside of turn number 1. So 7 minutes 24 plus an additional lap left to go on the clock. Dylan LaHaye continues to lead, but not by much, as there's a quick look over the right shoulder from Lewis Gilbert at Clayton Ravenscroft. Brunseels dropping a little bit further back. He's nearly 1.4 seconds, but 5 seconds behind, as there is definitely a bit of touching and barging of side pods, and that looks to be the likes of Galofre Torner, probably Leroy Jägersar getting stuck in. And this is going to get very dicey. The 388 of Stormbrewer getting hung out to dry, going around the outside of turn number 4. Storm loses another position through turn 5. So the yellow flags look to have been retracted, I believe. So top 3 last time around were separated by just over half a second. Just depends on how much how much gain are both Ravenscroft in 3rd and Gilbert in 2nd on Dylan LaHaye, who still continues to lead as they go to complete lap number 7 here at Karting d'Espagne. Brunseels 4th. Kai Hunter in 5th. Then got Ben Donkin, Leroy Jägersar in 7th ahead of Manel Galofre Torner. You've then got Andreas Herbert rounding out the top 10 ahead of Teddy Clinton, Mick Knowlton, Jason Lockwood, Stormbrewer and Lorenzo Stolk rounding out the top 15. But Stolk will very much be scrutinised if Charlie Turner gets to close the gap on the Dutch driver. But LaHaye is now getting away, but Ravenscroft is closing on Gilbert for second position. And at the minute, now I'm just having a look at the times between Ilian Brunsils and Kai Hunter. Kai Hunter has just gone nearly a tenth and a half quicker, as Ravenscroft is going to go for second up the inside of Gilbert and makes the move stick right through the first part of the corner. Really carried the momentum through and got the toe perfectly there, did Ravenscroft. So he gets past the 3:29 from Scotland. Ilian Brunsils still in fourth. Kai Hunter still trying to catch up with the Belgian. Ben Donkin in sixth position. You've got Jägersar, Galofre Torner. Patrick Rundqvist is, I think, a little bit further down, probably a couple of positions down. Excuse me, Teddy Clinton and Andreas Herbert, I think, might have passed him. There is a GKS Lemons Power driver a little bit further back down the order. That is Mick Knowlton from the Netherlands in the 3:04. So we've had 4 casualties, unfortunately. Reese Hunter didn't even start the race, with Bram Mossevada and Hughes van de Candelera ending up in the barriers off of turn number 5 on lap number 2. Marcus Radney has called it quits today as well. We now have a 3-second time penalty, and it is for Ilian Brunsils. So that is really going to be a bit of a disaster for the Belgian. That's not what he wanted, and that's been deemed by race control as having left the track with 2 wheels, so exceeded track limits. It's an automatic 3-second penalty, so that is going to put Brunsils on aggregate behind Teddy Clinton, who is currently in 10th place. So 3 minutes and 44 seconds left to go. Dylan LaHaye continues his lead, or his hold over the lead of this race. Ravenscroft, I think, is going to try and catch him. Kai Hunter has just, well, Dylan LaHaye did a 55.098, and Ravenscroft is responding in kind. A 55.045 from the 3.99 from the United Kingdom. The gap now is just under 4.5 tenths between first and second position, but don't count out Lewis Gilbert. Lewis Gilbert might have been the slowest of the trio, but he did still put in a respectable 55.109 as just keeping an eye behind, as there is definitely a change. Ilian Brunsils has dropped down into 9th position on the road now. Kai Hunter and Ben Donkin are now squabbling over 4th position, as if both their lives depended on the points that they want to score, as we have a cart off of turn number 8. And that is Rick Boothorn. I haven't really seen Rick. So Rick Boothorn in 3.93 becomes the 5th respective casualty. Ilian Brunsils has been passed by Patrick Rundqvist. But that is in terms of the position, the penalty that has been applied to the 3.08. So the position he's currently racing in will not be the position that he will eventually finish. Charlie Turner, in the meantime, has got up into 13th position, having started from effectively what was 29th, considering Reese Hunter not taking any part in this particular race. Mick Knowlton just a fraction outside of the top 10. So the Dutch driver currently in 11th position at the moment, behind Ilian Brunsils, who is circulating behind Kai Hunter in what is effectively 5th position on the road. And that has been the case that in terms of the time penalty application, Mick Knowlton now hits the top 10. And Knowlton is actually chasing down Patrick Rundqvist for position. So Knowlton wants to finish very well, but with them is going to be Charlie Turner very shortly indeed. So Turner has been absolutely flying, and that is form that I would definitely come to expect from last year's British Super 1 Rotax champion in Senior Max. So that's a really good return to form and a great scythe through the field from Charlie Turner. How many more positions can he gain in about the next 2 minutes? Because we've got 50 seconds on the clock plus an additional lap. Lead is now heading down into turn number 2. Dylan LaHaye's lead over Clayton Ravenscroft was last time 0.5 of a second, or just over. A further 7.5 tenths back to Lewis Gilbert. Kai Hunter in 4th place. I tell you what, Mick Knowlton's not going to have it easy, because right behind is Charlie Turner in the 3:01. So Turner really trying to do his best to get out of the, effectively what would be the lower part, well, just the higher part of the bottom 20 on this grid, as we've got someone going very, very slowly indeed off of turn number 7 there. Driver now gets back underway. Dylan LaHaye still leads, and it is 0.514 seconds between first and second position at the moment. So Dylan LaHaye continues to lead. Clayton Ravenscroft is in second. This is the final lap of this race, and I have to say very much the case that what is going to happen between Rundqvist, Knowlton and Turner. Turner was looking very, very menacing going through turn number 4, as we've got yellow flags off of turn number 6 there. So no overtaking. Charlie Turner's really got to wait for it now to get that opportunity. Gets the green flag. Will he go for a move on Mick Knowlton in the dying few meters of this race? However, Dylan LaHaye again will make it 2 successive wins on the trot ahead of Clayton Ravenscroft. Lewis Gilbert takes 3rd. Kai Hunter takes 4th place ahead of Ben Donkin, with Leroy Jägersar rounding out the top 6. Manel Galofre-Torner, Teddy Clinton and Ilian Brunseels round out the top 9 positions ahead of Patrick Rundqvist. Mick Knowlton in 11th ahead of Charlie Turner. Jason Lockwood in 13th ahead of Storm Brewer and Lorenzo Stolk, with the 2 Dutch drivers completing the top 15. Kian Sang in 16th. Nice recovery drive from Guilherme de Oliveira. Started right at the back part of the field. Finished in 17th. Sam Harrison in 18th. Kieran Gifford in 19th. Ahead of Clementine Benoit, with Georges Bersis finishing in 21st. Alexander Luck in 22nd. Christian Kuya in 23rd. Ahead of Victor Plateau and Ilias Kalin, being the 25th and last driver that actually finished on the same lap as the winner, Dylan LaHaye, with Andreas Hebert parking it with just 2 laps to go, and with Rick Boothorn, Marcus Radney, Hughes Van de Candelera and Bram Ossevada not finishing the race past lap number 2, with Reese Hunter not completing the race at all, or actually did not even start it, unfortunately.